If you missed the first part, there is a link in the description. Please watch it before this for better understanding. The Age of Revolutions, 1830 to 1848. Liberalism and nationalism came to be increasingly associated with revolution. In many regions of Europe, such as the Italian and German states, the provinces of the Ottoman Empire, Ireland, and Poland. These revolutions were led by the liberal nationalists belonging to the educated middle-class elite, among whom were professors, school teachers, clerks, and members of the commercial middle classes. The first upheaval took place in France in July 1830. The July Revolution sparked an uprising in Brussels which led to Belgium breaking away from the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. An event that mobilized nationalist feelings among the educated elite. Across Europe was the Greek War of Independence. Greece had been part of the Ottoman Empire since the 15th century. The growth of revolutionary nationalism in Europe sparked off a struggle for independence amongst the Greeks which began in 1821. Finally, the Treaty of Constantinople of 1832 recognized Greece as an independent nation. The Romantic imagination and national feeling. Romantic artists and poets generally criticized the glorification of reason and science and focused instead on emotions, intuition, and mystical feelings. This was especially so in the case of Poland, which had been partitioned at the end of the 18th century by the great powers Prussia, and Austria. Language too played an important role in developing nationalist sentiments. After Russian occupation, the Polish language was forced out of schools and the Russian language was imposed everywhere. The use of Polish came to be seen as a symbol of the struggle against Russian dominance. Hunger, hardship, and popular revolt. The first half of the 19th century saw an enormous increase in population all over Europe. Population from rural areas migrated to the cities to live in overcrowded slums. In those regions of Europe where the aristocracy still enjoyed power, peasants struggled under the burden of feudal dues and obligations. The rise of food prices or a year of bad harvest led to widespread pauperism in town and country. The year 1848 was one such year. Food shortages and widespread unemployment brought the population of Paris out on the roads. A National Assembly proclaimed a republic, granted suffrage to all adult males above 21, and guaranteed the right to work. 1848, the Revolution of the Liberals. Parallel to the revolts of the poor, unemployed, and starving peasants and workers in many European countries in the year 1848, a revolution led by the educated middle classes was underway. In other parts of Europe where independent nation-states did not yet exist, such as Germany, Italy, Poland, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. In the German regions, a large number of political associations whose members were middle-class professionals, businessmen, and prosperous artisans came together in the city of Frankfurt and decided to vote for an all-German National Assembly. They drafted a constitution for a German nation to be headed by a monarchy subject to a parliament. The parliament was dominated by the middle classes who resisted the demands of workers and artisans and consequently lost their support. Women had formed their own political associations, founded newspapers, and taken part in political meetings and demonstrations. Thus, serfdom and bonded labor were abolished both in the Habsburg dominions and in Russia. The making of Germany and Italy. Germany: can the army be the architect of a nation? Prussia took on the leadership of the movement for national unification. Its chief minister, Otto von Bismarck, was the architect of this process carried out with the help of the Prussian army and bureaucracy. The nation-building process in Germany had demonstrated the dominance of Prussian state power. The new state placed a strong emphasis on modernizing the currency, banking, legal, and judicial systems in Germany. Italy unified. During the middle of the 19th century, Italy was divided into 7 states, of which only one, Sardinia-Piedmont, was ruled by an Italian princely house. During the 1830s, Giuseppe Mazzini had sought to put together a coherent program for a unitary Italian republic. The failure of revolutionary uprisings both in 1831 and 1848 meant that the mantle now fell on Sardinia-Piedmont under its ruler King Victor Emmanuel II. Visualizing the nation. Nations were then portrayed as female figures. That is, the female figure became an allegory of the nation.
If you like the video, like, share, subscribe the video.